She looked funny. Walking the streets, it would be impossible to avoid being recognized as a homosexual or as some sort of inviting people to activity in looking at her as a female subject. She came and complained that she had been at the Hammerhus ruin at Bornholm. And there it has been happening that a wind had blown up her shirt. And she told me how disappointed she would be if it had happened to demonstrate the male sexual organs which were still there. And as they were not protected by law, she wanted us to accept also the operation.
So I went to see him, and he asked me why I wanted it, which is a very difficult question to answer. Today I would have said, because that's who I am. But Stirrup, he looked at me and said, oh, he doesn't look good as a boy. What will he be like as a woman?
It was only after I had applied for castration on behalf of Christine Jorgensen that I really realized what transsexualism was. It was an accident, and it was one of the 10 different ways of using castration.
Who you are, what you remove, and what you, for example, the female to male, they have a radical mastectomy and they have a hysterectomy. I don't consider that anything wrong because that does not belong to that person. That person, female to male transsexual, those are abhorrent parts of the body that does not belong to them. Who you are as a person and this equipment that keeps that person alive, this equipment is not as important. Well, it's important because you can't keep that alive without it. But as far as sex organs and so forth, they're not major organs. You can live without them. For me, in the long run, and for all of us, it was a lucky accident. Well, I was just startled when this woman came in and handed me a telegram from the United States that the Daily News had this big story. Strippers, nightclub acts, everything. There were all kinds of, all agents. Everybody was jumping on the bandwagon. They wanted me to do everything, including being a lady wrestler. And I had a sense of humor, so I laughed at a lot of them. I saved most of the telegrams. By that time, the whole world was going crazy, and I told my mother and father. And it was up to them to either accept or reject. They accepted, but this was not a zing-bang, let's do it and get it off the table thing. They wanted to know where they were going and where we would end up. How do you feel about when we were talking about 1953, Christian?
Yes, I remember it very well. And we didn't anticipate that it was such a usual problem for many people.
No.
But after the publicity, I got letters from all over the world.
Some people were extremely hostile, which didn't bother me very much because I had already climbed my mountain and that became their problem, not mine. And I remember once I wore a pair of slacks and they said, see, that's the masculine part of her. And I guess I went through a period of trying to be super femme. When the Scandinavian societies contacted me, I said, yes, I would do it. While some other people were saying she shouldn't even be alive, they were saying you're Woman of the Year. I was the toast of 2 continents. I was invited to every important party. I guess they all wanted to take a peek. The fact that I am a cult figure, I know I am. I am among the gays as well. And I've always been conscious of the fact that, particularly at the beginning, that my conduct had to be controlled so that they can't say, well, see, look what what all transsexuals end up this way or that way. I guess it's an ego trip, but I'm amazed even today when I meet some of them who wish to go through the surgery. Loving is wonderful, but falling in love is very stupid. I I don't think I'd like to marry. I'm free. I do exactly what I wish to do. I live in the manner to which I prefer. I have men in my life. I truly have never allowed a man to move into my house. I'm very selfish. I don't have to bargain with anybody to do what I want. I play hard, I drink hard, I smoke hard, I do everything almost to excess. One of the most important things is do not develop what I call the Cinderella syndrome. That means thinking that this surgery means that Prince Charming's coming around the corner in 15 minutes. Because there aren't any Prince Charmings. Be who you are. Don't try to be too bizarre. Have a good life. Laugh a lot at yourself first. Then you have the right to laugh at others.
If you ever go down to the dark, they make you feel so very glad. Calypso sing and make up rhyme, guarantee you one real good fine time. Drinking rum and Coca-Cola, go down.
I found a form of paradise within my own life. It's a contentment. People say, are you happy? I say, well, happiness means you're either way up on top or you're way down at the bottom. I'm very content. I don't expect a great deal out of life.
Christine Jorgensen, the American soldier who underwent a sex change after a series of sensational operations in Copenhagen, returns to New York to get the kind of welcome from press, film and radio that you'd expect. In front of rows of microphones, Miss Christine answers a lot of questions, particularly about possible film contracts, and the interview ends with the celebrity's thanks for the overwhelming welcome.
Have you been offered a movie contract?
Yes, but I haven't accepted it.
Do you have any plans regarding the theater?
No, I don't think so.
Are you going to go on with your photography?
I hope so, yes.
I see. Right.
I'm very happy to be back, and I don't have any plans at the moment. And I thank you all for coming, but I think it's too much. Fine, thank you very much.
I'm so sick of messages of people's self-analysis. Mine, too. I'm older now. Well, I'll just cruise along from day to day and see what happens. Something always pops out of the woodwork.
Thank you very much. Oh, during 15 years in nightclubs, I evolved a little impression of probably the most fabulous woman I've ever had the pleasure to meet. And of course, I could only mean the great Marlene Dietrich. Thank you, gentlemen. Just call me Mama. No, dear, not Grandmama, just Mama will do. Papa was Ernest Hemingway. Now you read all those books, huh? He wrote a wonderful one called For Whom the Cookie Crumbles. Now you know it wasn't really that. It was For Whom the Bell Tolled. Except that bell never tolled on me.
Ich bin von Kappismus auf Liebe eingestellt. Und das was meine Welt ganz gar nichts. Das ist was soll ich machen, meine eine Tour. Ich kann nicht lieben nur, ganz gar nichts. Oh, men come around me like moths around the flame. If they get burned dear, who am I to blame? Falling in love again, never wanted to. What am I to do? I can't